Hi everyone, I am part of the lip smacking nail group nail collaboration for August, which is Holi-Daze, and you had to create 5 nails, and it was based on your favorite or dream fantasy holidays. So I'm going to start off by showing you the ones I've already created, and then I'm going to create one on camera. And let me just get that. Okay, so first, I love water, so anywhere there's a waterfall I'll be very happy. So let me see. Okay, there we go, that's better I think. And then for the next one, now where I live we get the cold, -degrees, we get the wind, but we do not have snow at all. So I've never experienced real snow, thick snow, like where you can build a snowman or even have a snowball fight with someone. Never. So that would be, I think, something I would love to see. Now I'm not sure if the spark, okay, there we go, the sparkly bits is actually showing. There we go. So anywhere near snow, that would be great. And then I love water and I love the mountains, so anywhere snow covered mountains I feel would also be amazing. And there's my snow covered mountains and a little lake, and as you can see the snow is glittering. And then I would love to go to Miami. Now the reason I chose Miami, yes, there's beaches and everything else, which is amazing, but I would love to have a tattoo done there. Now a few years ago there was this program on television called Miami Ink, and they did all of these amazing tattoos, so I would love to go and get tattooed at Miami Ink. So obviously that would be so cool. Now I'm feeling that this tattoo would actually look brilliant on my ankle, yeah, I think my ankle basically, or even my shoulder. So there's the vampire teeth and the lips, and then a rose. Miami Ink. So let's create the final nail, shall we? So for this one, I've already applied a base, then cured, and then white and cured. Now I'm going to cover this. I can find it. With a brown. So this one should be like a table. The nail should look like a table, and there should be a postcard on it. So that's the vision. Oops. So let's create the table first. Now the reason that I used a white underneath is for the colors I'm applying on top, just to pop a little bit more. I don't want this to be too perfect. It has to have a little bit of stripes in them, like over there. Again, it's going to be wood. And then I'm going to cure for 60 seconds. And we can move on to the next step. So I'm going to use my ombre brush and another a lighter brown. Just going to dip it in and add a few stripes here and there. Just to give more texture and dimension to our nail, because we do want this to look like a table. And wood has grain in them and texture, so let's create that first. So I'm hoping that you can see what I've been doing. Maybe not. And I'm going to give it this 30-second cure, and I'll be right back. Now to my palette I added a little bit of the darker brown and a black, because this part needs to be very dark. So I'm just going to mix those two together, creating a very dark brown. Now you can use a blooming gel for the next step if you want to, and if you don't have one, a normal base coat would work as well. For the next part I'm going to be using a blooming gel, and you can use a base coat if you like. I'm just going to add that to the nail. Now I'm going to use some of this darker color. Creating a little line like so. I'm hoping you can see. And then from here, down. And there's the first stain. And then I'm thinking maybe here. And then spread a little and go up. And there's our wood stains. So I'm going to wait for it to spread a little, and then I'm going to cure once I'm happy. Once it's been cured, you need more. This needs to be dark. There we go. I'm going to apply a matte top coat and cure again. And there we go. So to my palette I added a little bit of black and a little bit of white. Now this has been matte top coated and cured. So I'm going to take a little bit of the black to outline where I want the postcard to be. So thinking about doing it like this maybe. No, let's go. And then right over there. And then I'm just going to connect. I can always clean up the sides and remove some of the axis. Okay, there's our little postcard. So I'm just going to remove the axis right here, and I'm just removing it using some isopropyl alcohol, and I'm going to give that a 10-second cure just to stay in place So I'm using a smaller brush right now, and I'm going to fill in using white, the postcard. Now the reason I'm doing this is so that the colors we're about to use is going to pop even more. If I use the brown as a background, you might not be able to see the different colors blending and things like that, and you will have to use a lot more product. So I'm just filling in the postcard. And then once I'm done or happy, then I'm going to cure again, and I'll be matte top coating the entire nail again. And the reason for this is that if I make a mistake, then I can easily just wipe it away. It's not going to ruin the entire nail. So, and also we'll be doing some gradient, and if I do cross the line, then it doesn't matter, I can just easily wipe it away. Like I said, if you're using a matte top coat, it's just easier to correct the mistakes. There we go. And I'm going to just cure. So I'm going to be using color from my palette. Now since this is just a small space, we're going to be needing only a little bit, because these colors are very pigmented. So let's start by creating the sky and something like that. Maybe blue is very pigmented, so only a little bit of blue. Just need it there. That's too much. A little bit more, like so. Now in between, I'm going to clean my brush with some isopropyl alcohol before picking up the next color and cleaning. And then there should be a feeling a little orange, maybe tiny amount right there. Again, wiping my brush, and then yellow. Now the yellow is very light, so we might need a little bit more of that. I feel like this is it. You probably won't be able to see all the lines, so not to worry, because like I said, we'll be using a gradient technique just to blend it all together. And the ocean still has to be in here, so I'm just going to tap that down. Now, like I said, if it does go over the line like there, you can always just erase it. I'm feeling we need a little more of the orange. Like I said, the blue is very pigmented, so and then some yellow. So I'm tapping into the blue. Creating bit of our sunset. I'm going to keep on doing this, adding some more colors like blue again or whatever the case may be, because right now I'm feeling we need a little bit more blue. So but that's the good thing about gel, you can always add some more if you like. So there we go, that's better. I'm just tapping and moving. Okay. Now I am going to remove some of the axes because we did go over the line. And that's why I said to use matte top coat and easily just wipe it away. Like so. Like so. We need a little bit more clean up over there, I feel. Okay. Now I'm going to give this a flash cure to make sure it stays in place. So using my brush, I'm just going to outline to where I want the ocean to be. So right about there. That would be our horizon. And then coming down like so. Just clean my brush real quick. So from there to there. Okay, so now we know where the outlines of our ocean is going to be, and then this part will be sand. So to my palette, I'm adding different shades of blue. And I'm adding the darker blue just underneath that line. I'm not going to be wiping my brush, and I'm going straight into the lighter blue. And I'm not going to cure. I'm going to take my ombre brush, start ombraying, mixing these two colors together, up and down the whole time, giving us a nice gradient of where the water should be. Okay, good. I'm feeling like that line might be too thick, so let's cover a little bit. Good. And I'm adding just a tiny bit more of the darker blue. Creating the effect of rays and everything like that. Once I'm happy, I'm going to be curing this for 30 seconds again. So darker kind of brown to my palette. And also a lighter kind of brown, color brown kind, really. Ugh, my English really isn't Englishing today. But I guess by now it's nothing new, right? So let's create our sand. Now closer to the waves, we'll be using the darker brown. Because we do want the sand to appear wet. I'm hoping I'm in frame. And then a little bit more maybe. Wiping my brush and then picking up the lighter brown just underneath. And again, I'm going to be using my ombre brush. Just go side to side. And this in. Adding a little more of the lighter color in there. There we go. Perfect. And pushing it up. There we go. And now I'm going to cure again for 30 seconds. So I added some more white to my palette. And now we can just start with the detail. Using my dotting tool, I'm just going to create some foam. So I'm just pressing and lifting, pressing and lifting. I do not want this line to be too straight or too even. And now can add a little bit of white to where the waves are. I'm barely touching. And maybe we can add, yeah, let's do that. Let's add some birds, because why not? There we go. Birdie flying. And I'm going to cure again. I know, a lot of curing going on. I'm going to cure again and top coat, but matte top coat again, because we still need to add a stamp and just tidy up the outlines of the postcard. So I'm going to tidy up the outlines. I'm just going to go over. If you are new, please like and subscribe, and please go check out Lip Smacking Nails on YouTube. But now I'm going to just outline to where I want the stamp to be. We'll add it. So I'm just going to use white. Right about there. I'm thinking that's a good spot. Now I am going to be going in. I'm going to flash cure, and then I'm going to go in and fill that little part of the stamp with some white and cure again. So to my palette I added a little bit of this color for our stamp. Now there has to be a pair of lips in the design, so I thought let's just draw that in there. Okay, so part of the design was there should be a pair of lips on your nails, so there's our little stamp with our lips on. I'm going to cure, and then I'm going to add a glossy top coat over the entire nail and cure again. And there is the nail we just created. This was really a fun set to create. So I honestly had so much fun. So let's just add it. And there we go. My dream holiday. Holi-Daze. Thank you so much for watching. And stay safe, stay blessed. And I'll see you in the next one. Bye.